Back at the sect, Chen Xiao wonders if she truly has no idea where sect leader Lu went, feeling as though he has been completely forgotten. Luo Bing responds that she does not know either, adding that if she knew where he was, she would not be wasting her time there with him. Chen Xiao mooses that her entire mind is filled with sect leader Lu, and although he sighs, he concludes that he is not completely out of luck either. He only needs to confirm one final thing with sect leader Lu to make completely sure he is the mysterious senior brother. Soon enough, Chen Xiao spots sect leader Lu and excitedly concludes that his waiting has not been in vain. This is finally his chance. Chen Xiao bows and announces that he has come to bid his farewells. But Lu Chaoge simply waves his hand dismissively, indicating that he understands and that he should leave quickly. The response immediately feels strange to Chen Xiao. Scratching his head, Chen Xiao wonders whether sect leader Lu needs him to greet Elder Ning and senior brother Yu Ye for him. As long as he responds and admits knowing Elder Ning and senior brother Yu Ye, Chen Xiao will have his proof that he is the legendary mysterious senior brother, someone even more talented than senior brother Yu Yue. Lu Chaoge observes Chen Xiao and realizes that the kid is testing him. Since the Mo Sect's reputation value is stuck, he figures exposing a little information and gaining some reputation from the Sword Sect is not a bad idea. After all, there is hardly a better place to gain reputation than Qingzhou's #1 sect, one of the 4 largest sects in the world. Lu Chaoge instructs Chen Xiao to help him greet Aunt Ning, then points out that Yu Yue is his junior brother, so there is no reason for a senior brother to greet a junior. Chen Xiao is instantly shocked. It really is him. Although he never directly mentions senior brother Yu Yue, he also never denies knowing him. Chen Xiao bows respectfully in agreement before flying away in excitement, while Lu Chaoge silently hopes little Chen will not disappoint him. Lu Dongli wonders what her brother is looking at, and Lu Chaoge responds that it is a flying advertising poster. Meanwhile, Chen Xiao flies onward, concluding that sect leader Lu never directly admitted knowing senior brother Yu Yue, while senior brother Yu Yue also never mentioned sect leader Lu's name. Clearly, the two of them are thinking alike. In his mind, they must be planning to conceal their friendship and rivalry until the day they finally announce it and shake the entire world. With renewed determination, Chen Xiao decides that once he returns, he will spread the legend of the mysterious senior brother as widely as possible. However, he absolutely will not reveal a single piece of information about sect leader Lu, since that is a secret only between him and senior brother Yu Ye. With that settled, Chen Xiao soars quickly through the clouds. 7 days after Chen Xiao leaves, Lu Chaoge gains a single reputation point and wonders if he still has not returned to the Sword Sect, questioning where that tool man has gone to fool around. Half a month after Chen Xiao leaves, Lu Chaoge sees his reputation value sitting at 0 again. He clicks his tongue in annoyance, complaining that Chen Xiao still has not returned to report back after finishing his sect mission, and concluding that the Sword Sect really needs to improve how it trains its disciples. A full month after Chen Xiao leaves, Lu Chaoge is furious to see that he has gained 0 reputation value, declaring that the next time they meet, he will definitely smack little Chen's head until it is crooked. Meanwhile, at the towering mountain peaks of the Sword Sect, Chen Xiao rambles endlessly about sect leader Lu, while Yu Yue listens to every word. The more Chen Xiao reveals, the more anxious Yu Yue becomes. He wonders if senior brother Chaoge has really broken through that quickly, and whether it is only a matter of time before he surpasses him. As Chen Xiao continues chattering, Yu Yue grows increasingly panicked, fearing that he will eventually become like a child who cannot even catch up to his shadow. Internally, he refuses to allow that to happen. Chen Xiao is startled and wonders what is wrong with senior brother Yu Yue. Yu Yue informs junior brother Chen that they will separate there because he has gained a new realization and needs to enter closed cultivation for some time. Without delay, Yu Yo flies away to begin his secluded training, while Chen Xiao watches him leave and enviously marvels that the peerless sword entity can gain a realization whenever he wants. Chen Xiao then snickers as he continues flying, knowing that he is heading toward a huge class where he can finally spread the legend of the mysterious senior brother and the threat he poses. Even so, he remains determined not to let anyone discover sect leader Lu's name. There has to be a sense of mystery. Chen Xiao firmly proclaims that even until death, he will never utter the name of sect leader Lu. Time passes, spring arrives, and in Lu Chaoge's heart, Chen Xiao has thoroughly died. He has practically made his grave already. Lounging on a chair, Lu Chaoge concludes that Chen Xiao is dead to him and that he now needs to find another way to expand the sect. With a sigh, Lu Chaoge wonders how else a small sect like his is supposed to attract new players, grumbling over just how troublesome the whole situation has become. Lu Chaoge reflects that what noob players prioritize most is strength, and with so few disciples, even he in the past would not have spared the sect a glance. Meanwhile, Luo Bing sighs to herself, convinced that the sect leader is secretly glancing at her, only for Lu Chaoge to stare back blankly. Still, he notes that old perverts are an exception, but gathering a bunch of them is useless when his goal is to expand the sect. What he really needs are skilled and professional players. Only then will their sect have a future. Speaking of skilled players suddenly reminds Lu Chaoge of the past, and he wonders whether he will meet that master of his again in this life. His former master once questioned whether he truly liked her, and in his past life, he had raised his favorability with his master to the maximum, reaching the point where that Cold War god confessed to him. However, Lu Chaoge quickly decides to stop dwelling on her, since the more he does, the harder it becomes to resist searching for her. For now, he decides to check on the disciples outside the mountain, wondering why none of them have returned yet when their absence leaves the place completely empty. Suddenly, a distant bell begins ringing with loud, distinct chimes. Lu Chaoge immediately recognizes the Wanmin bell and questions what could have happened. At the same time, he reflects that after waiting for so many chapters, the moment has finally arrived, and he can finally show off again. The Wanmin bell has stood in front of the mountain gates since the day the Mo sect was founded. There are 301 similar bells throughout the Qingzhou district, each positioned before a sect, including the Sword Sect and the other 300 sects. None of these bells are cheaply made. Every one is personally forged by the Sword Sect's ninth lord, the Sword Sovereign, and throughout thousands of years they have been able to ring on their own without spiritual energy, leading people to speculate that some kind of perpetual machine exists inside them. Their purpose is simple. Whenever something happens in the mortal world and special incense is lit, the nearest bell automatically rings, making it essentially the Xiangxia version of an emergency hotline. However, despite how many bells exist, not every one is equally useful. Whenever the Mo sect's bell rings, things usually do not end well, which only raises the question of whether the sect is already declining. Luo Bing offers to head down the mountain and investigate, while inwardly urging her young lord to use her however he wants. Lu Chaoge refuses because he intends to go personally, privately viewing this as the perfect opportunity to show off and refusing to hand such a chance over to her. Luo Bing immediately expresses her willingness to accompany him, prompting Lu Dongli to stare in annoyance. Since delaying could allow the situation to worsen, Lu Chaoge permits her to come along, and Luo Bing eagerly agrees. Lu Dongli grumbles that Luo Bing is a sinful disciple, while He Ting continues to have a complete lack of presence. Lu Chaoge then activates a golden divination circle and determines that the incident is located at the Fog River. Luo Bing questions whether it is the Fog River again, while inwardly noting that as long as she is away from her master, she can call him young lord. Her master clearly holds hostility toward any woman near him, but with someone so talented and divine, she cannot understand how other women are supposed to resist approaching. Since they cannot make every woman leave, Luo Bing concludes that she might as well join in. Because she comes from a lowly background, she has no intention of aiming to become the sect leader's wife or her master's sister-in-law. If she can simply become one of his concubines, that is already good enough for her. Lu Chaoge recalls that the last time the Wanmin bell rang, the incense had also been lit here at the Fog River, making him wonder what has happened this time. A thick layer of mist blankets the expansive waters below, and the villagers immediately erupt with excitement upon seeing a cultivator arrive. They announce that someone from the Mo sect has come, respectfully greet sect leader Lu, and marvel that the Mo sect's leader has personally appeared. Lu Chaoge lifts the village head with spiritual energy and inquires about the situation. The village head panickingly explains that a water ghost has returned once again. Hearing this, Lu Chaoge becomes suspicious and questions whether it has truly happened again. Luo Bing worries that this is bad, noting that the guys clearly did nothing last time and the young lord is going to be mad. As they stand together looking over the misty waters, a system notification suddenly announces that he has triggered a mission. Chaoge observes that there really is a water ghost, and the mission window orders him to remove the water ghost hiding at the bottom of the Fog River's riverbed with a reward of 10,000 experience points. Luo Bing reflects that the young lord is this angry because they already eliminated the water ghost once half a year ago. Back then, a distant alarm rings out across the area. Luo Bing recalls that when the bell rang, Master was in closed cultivation while the sect leader had gone down to handle some affairs, leaving only brother Hei Ting and herself on the mountain. Since they were still too weak at the time, going through rashly could have ended with them sinking into the river. Because of that, they made their own decision, took their sect's spiritual stones, and sought help from a middle-class sect in the same district. That sect accepted their spiritual stones and promised to eliminate the water ghost. And when young lord returned, he even praised them. Chaoge commends the two of them for handling the matter well, explaining that since this place is under Mo sect, they naturally have to take good care of it, while a few spiritual stones are no big deal. Back in the present, Luo Bing realizes that those guys took their spiritual stones without seriously handling the matter. Chaoge is furious that they actually dared to scam people, even going so far as to scam him, and with a smirk, he remarks on how brave they are. Chaoge then reflects on the nature of ghost monsters in the Tianshuan world. They are not born from one person's resentment, but from the accumulation of many resentments. Meaning, a water ghost can only form from the resentment gathered from people who drowned over many years. Meanwhile, the villagers praise Mo Sect's sect leader, amazed that he can actually walk on water. They recall how the disciple from that middle-class sect looked down on them last time, yet was not even as impressive as sect leader Lu. Chaoge reasons that the same place cannot hold two water ghosts, so this can only be the same one that was never eliminated. Those bastards clearly came here just for show. He questions the village head about whether anyone has been injured, and the village head sighs before explaining that Xiao Ma's dad died while fishing. He had even promised to buy candies for his son before leaving. Another villager adds that by the time they found him, he had already become a dry corpse, leaving behind a pitiful family that is now fatherless and widowed. Chaoge instructs Luo Bing to stay there and guard them while he handles the matter, promising to return quickly, and Luo Bing confirms that she understands. Without wasting any time, Chaoge plunges directly into the turbulent river and descends deep into its depths before commanding the system to lock onto the target. A system notification confirms that the target has been found. It is the water ghost. The system locks onto the creature beneath the depths, revealing a level 20 water ghost born from half a year of resentment and possessing a very strong ghostly aura. Chaoge notes that it really is the same one from last time, and the monstrous water ghost unleashes a menacing roar through the water. Above the surface, the villagers worry about what is happening below and whether sect leader Lu is okay, though they reassure themselves that it is only a water ghost and sect leader Lu can definitely kill it. Suddenly, a violent torrent of water bursts into the air. The villagers immediately recognize the water ghost as the one that killed Little Ma's dad and wonder where sect leader Lu is. The creature lets out a piercing shriek as Chaoge pursues it, and he forcefully commands it to scram before striking it, making the water ghost scream in agony. The villagers panic and shout for everyone to close their eyes. Soon after, the river surface becomes calm again. The villagers slowly open their eyes in relief, only to notice that sect leader Lu is gone. Instead, they find a carved message on the shore stating that the water ghost has been eradicated, leaving them disappointed that they never even got the chance to thank him. Later, Chaoge questions Luo Bing about which sect she sought help from last time, and Luo Bing answers that it was the Shuiyu sect. Chaoge notes that the Shuiyu sect specializes in water sword skills, making it the most fitting choice, especially after he gains 10,000 experience points from slaying the water ghost. When Luo Bing wonders if they are heading there now, Chaoge replies that it goes without saying, though there is something they need to do first. Sometime later, a humble mortal cottage rests beneath the mountain slope. Inside, the mother laments that sewing the clothes was a waste of time, recalling how she repeatedly warned her husband to be careful while fishing instead of relying on his swimming skills. Crying over the garment, she wishes she had finished sewing it earlier so he would not have passed away wearing rags. Meanwhile, Xiao Ma wonders where his father has gone, where his candied hawthorn is, why he has not returned home, and why his mother is crying. Suddenly, a gentle knock echoes from the wooden front gate. The mother instructs Xiao Ma to open the door, and he agrees. Once Xiao Ma opens the gate, he finds his treat and immediately wonders if his father has returned. To the vast Qingzhou district, it was merely the death of a fisherman, but to one family, it was the loss of a husband, a father, and their main pillar. Luo Bing observes that the child does not seem to possess any potential for cultivation. Lu Chaoge responds that he believes the child has a face of good fortune, adding that nobody can predict what he will become in the future. Looking at the boy's luck attribute of 9, Lu Chaoge wonders what kind of life awaits someone blessed with such great fortune like Xiao Chu. Luo Bing internally reasons that since the young lord believes so, the child will certainly not become a nobody in the future. She also reflects that despite always working in secret, the young lord is genuinely a gentle soul, an opinion shared among the people of the Mo sect. Meanwhile, the Shuiyu sect ranks 98th among middle-class sects. Although its leader remains isolated and its elders constantly bicker, the sect still easily surpasses bottom-tier low-class sects like the Mo sect. When Lu Chaoge and Luo Bing arrive, the Shuiyu sect disciples marvel at the divine couple, certain that they cannot be ordinary people. They question which sect the two visitors come from and why they have arrived at the Shuiyu sect. At that moment, a system prompt suddenly appears, triggering a new mission called Rules. Lu Chaoge stares at the mission details, which explain that Mengfeng accepted the Mo sect's spiritual stones without slaying the water ghost as promised. The mission therefore instructs Lu Chaoge to teach him the greatness of the sect and the rules of cultivation by causing a commotion. Lu Chaoge checks the names of the surrounding disciples, scanning the floating tags above them to see whether Mengfeng is present. After confirming that he is nowhere among them, he decides they will have to search for him inside. However, the disciples immediately call out for them to stop, questioning whether they intend to trespass into the Shui Yue sect. Lu Chaoge gives them a cold, dismissive glance. The disciples snap that they are speaking to him and warn that they will no longer remain polite if he refuses to answer. Lu Chaoge then notices the mountain bell and remarks that since they also possess a Wanman bell, he can simply make them come meet him directly. Without hesitation, Lu Chaoge sends a beam of spiritual energy toward the distant mountain bell. The attack strikes the bell, sending powerful chimes echoing across the entire sect grounds. The disciples immediately rush forward, furious that he dared to strike their bell, condemning his extreme presumption while questioning whether he even knows what it is. Lu Chaoge stands quietly with several swords still pointed at him, yet the disciples are clearly intimidated. They curse under their breath and demand to know who he is, but his gaze makes them feel as though he is looking down at a group of ants, leaving none of them willing to step forward. Even so, they keep demanding his identity, which sect he comes from, and why he has come to Shui Yue sect. A sudden rush of wind sweeps past Lu Chaoge as he coldly questions why no one stepped forward to respond when the Wanman bell was ringing. The disciples immediately latch on to the mention of the bell and realize he is referring to the Wanman bell. Shock spreads through the group as they wonder if he could be the legendary enforced disciple from the Sword Sect, especially with his luxurious clothes and good looks. The thought alone sends them into a panic, since Sword Sect enforced disciples are notoriously troublesome, and they quickly conclude that they need to report this to their superiors. However, the moment they consider which of the four should go, none of them wants the responsibility. One refuses and pushes the task onto another, only for him to argue that the first elder and second elder are currently in a cold war over the sect leader position, so approaching them would be no different from seeking his own death. Another immediately refuses as well. Watching them, Luo Bing feels disgusted and wonders why those men are staring at each other in such a revolting manner. Lu Chaoge coldly questions whether they are finished, then warns that if no one leaves to handle the matter immediately, they should not blame him for being merciless. That finally breaks their hesitation. All of the disciples panic and flee at the same time, shouting that they will report the matter while desperately begging not to be left behind. Luo Bing then questions whether he made this trip simply to teach that irresponsible disciple a lesson, but Lu Chaoge explains that, for that little family, he intends to do something more. He wants to seek justice for them. At that moment, the two elders float down together. The first elder and second elder simultaneously question the young friend about why he rang the bell, only to immediately glare at each other and scoff in mutual annoyance. Lu Chaoge smiles and remarks that the two of them certainly have great chemistry, Both elders instantly snap back in unison, demanding to know who has chemistry with whom. Luo Bing cannot help wondering aloud why all the men in Shui Yue sect are like this, including the disciples from earlier. The first elder angrily warns her to watch her words, insisting that even if he swung that way, he would never fancy that shorty. The second elder immediately retorts that he would never fancy him either. From a distance, the disciples watch the argument with awkward hesitation and whisper that the elders look like a bickering couple. Both elders furiously yell at them to shut up. Chaoge cuts through the nonsense, stating that he did not come here to watch them make fools of themselves before introducing himself as the Mo sect leader. The disciples immediately breathe a massive sigh of relief. Since he is not an enforced disciple from the Sword Sect, they are not in nearly as much trouble as they feared. The second elder questions which Mo sect he is referring to, while the first elder dismissively scoffs at the idea that a Mo sect from the lower 100 sects could possibly have any important business here. Chaoge calmly states that he came to Shui Yue sect today looking for one specific person. The elders immediately notice that his cultivation base is only at the first rank, 8th heavenly layer, making them wonder how he can act so boldly. The second elder, in particular, considers it outrageous that someone at that level would charge directly into their sect just to pick on one of their people. The first elder glares darkly and demands the identity of the person he is looking for. Chaoge reveals that it is Shui Yue sect disciple Meng Feng. The first elder is instantly shocked, because Meng Feng is his third direct disciple and Chaoge has come straight for him. Meanwhile, the second elder secretly smirks with delight, already expecting a good show now that the target is his rival's disciple. Meanwhile, Meng Feng questions whether the sect leader of Mo sect has lost his mind, wondering why he specifically named him and requested a meeting. He even wonders whether his handsomeness has spread beyond Shui Yue sect, reasoning that with a face like his, he has long received the admiration of thousands across the land. Then Meng Feng suddenly recalls what the Mo sect is. In the past, Luo Bing earnestly pleads for him to help them by slaying the water ghost terrorizing the Mist River villagers. Meng Feng questions what kind of logic allows them to request a favor from their senior brother without kneeling. Luo Bing believes that she only kneels before the young lord and master, but with the water ghost running amok and the villagers bound to suffer, she recognizes that they cannot cling to pride. Heiting then presents spiritual stones as a gift, sincerely pleading on behalf of the Mo sect disciples for senior brother to assist them. Meng Feng accepts the pouch and boasts that a mere water ghost can be destroyed with a flick of his fingers before sending them back. Later, he merrily informs the ladies that he is in high spirits and will pay well if they serve him properly. Back in the present, Meng Feng recalls squandering those spiritual stones on alcohol and women, admitting that he completely forgot about the water ghost. From there, he deduces that the visitor must have come because of that exact matter. Still, Meng Feng scoffs at the trash sect, questioning why their leader personally came over a water ghost that cannot even leave the river or cause any real trouble. Only a couple of lives were lost, and with his wealthy background where slaves could be beaten freely, he sees no reason mortals should be compared to immortal cultivators. However, since the sect leader has already arrived, Meng Feng cannot allow the second elder to take advantage of the situation, or his master might fail to become sect leader. He decides that honestly confessing his fault is the safest option, leaving no room for blame to be placed on him. Meng Feng announces that he is the one who previously accepted the water ghost task, claiming his low skills allowed it to escape before requesting punishment from sect leader Lu. He also offers to compensate the Mo sect with twice the spiritual stones. The first elder views the youth as responsible and composed, believing he refuses to let others impose upon him. Double the spiritual stones is already a substantial amount, and if some petty sect still wants trouble, they can simply be given more resources. At that moment, Chaoge casts the aura farming skill and reveals that the village along Mist River has lost a fisherman. Meng Feng assumes he is simply trying to demand greater compensation, so he raises the offer to 3 times the original amount. In his eyes, a mortal life has little value, and threefold compensation is already his limit. Chaoge dismisses the idea of compensation as utterly laughable, then commands him to loudly recite Rule 16 of the Sword Sect. Meng Feng nervously questions what he means. Chaoge sternly orders him to recite it. Under the overwhelming pressure, Meng Feng trembles with terror and recites Sword Sect Rule 16. stating that taking a Wanman Bell request lightly and indirectly causing death warrants whipping. The first elder assumes the youth is merely blackmailing them for more, while the second elder is delighted to have a good show to watch instead of placating him. The punishment of the Sword Sect consists of 6 lashes, with 3 thunder whips striking the body and 3 targeting the Tao heart. Thunder whips cause severe pain, but a cultivator can still recover, while strikes to the Tao heart can shatter an unstable foundation, permanently halt growth, and lower rank. Unless blessed by heaven, even a 7th or 8th rank great cultivator cannot recover from that kind of ruin. Terrified by the punishment awaiting him, Meng Feng desperately cries out for his master to save him. The first elder curses him internally, realizing that he cannot confront the matter directly and will have to surrender resources now before reclaiming them later. He declares that once the resources are received, his disciple ought to be released. First elder suggests that sect leader Lu step aside with him for a private talk. But Lu Chaoge completely ignores him and instead gives Meng Feng 3 options. The first is to receive 6 whips, while the second is to take a sword slash from him. Trembling in fear, Meng Feng stutters over the third option, only for Lu Chaoge to mock him by revealing that there is no real third choice and proposing both punishments together instead. First elder immediately snaps in rage and shouts Lu Chaoge's name. But the second elder openly questions whether first elder is trying to bribe him in private, pointing out that such conduct violates the Sword Sect's rules and wondering how their honored guest would view it. First elder can only sputter helplessly as Meng Feng frantically pleads for his master to defend him. However, first elder remains silent, while the second elder schemes that if first elder openly breaks the rules, the sect will eventually become his. Realizing his master has truly abandoned him, Meng Feng falls into despair, and Lu Chaoge warns that if he refuses to choose, he will personally enforce the third option. Panicking, Meng Feng chooses to receive a sword slash and tightly grips the hilt of his weapon as Lu Chaoge begins channeling spiritual energy. Meng Feng reassures himself that Lu Chaoge is only at the first rank 8th heavenly layer, believing that taking 1 strike is still better than enduring 6 whips. He unsheathes his sword and prepares his defense, while Lu Chaoge instructs him to signal once he is ready, before casually adding that he will not even unsheathe his real sword. Meng Feng convinces himself that if Lu Chaoge can still injure him with a sheathed blade, he will abandon swordsmanship entirely. At the same time, the first elder remains interested in obtaining the resources and believes Lu Chaoge is merely bluffing about being serious, while the second elder wonders why Lu Chaoge has suddenly gone soft by refusing to unsheathe his sword. Once Meng Feng braces himself and invites sect leader Lu to strike, Lu Chaoge calmly accepts and unleashes a massive vortex of destructive energy. First elder cries out in shock upon recognizing the power of heaven and earth, while the second elder gasps in horror at the manifestation of genuine sword intent. Meng Feng screams in terror as the attack descends on him, and the immense pressure cracks through his defensive stance. He roars in agony beneath the crushing force before his sword completely shatters into pieces, and the devastating blast slams into him and sends him flying. Meng Feng is left defeated and unconscious amid the rising smoke as First Elder screams in panic. Lu Chaoge remains calm while the energy dissipates, then remarks that Meng Feng cannot even handle a single hit from him. First Elder reflects that he had believed Lu Chaoge possessed a soft-hearted side, but to think he actually went all out until the very end. Then, the disciple reports to Master that senior brother Meng Feng's sword heart has been shattered, sending First Elder into pure rage. Meanwhile, Lu Chaoge figures that Meng Feng cultivated his power without cultivating his heart. So this outcome works out just right. He remarks that Meng Feng is better off giving up sword training altogether. First Elder can barely contain his fury and stammers at Lu Chaoge, but before anything happens, the second Elder jumps in to provoke him. He taunts that he cannot possibly be holding himself back just because he is afraid of breaking the Sword Sect's rules to protect his disciple, mocking that his disciple has suffered such a miserable fate while he, as the master, is too afraid to go against the rules, which is even more pitiful. Deep down, the second elder schemes that if first elder violates the Sword Sect's rules, the Shui Yu sect will belong to him. With that in mind, he continues fanning the flames, urging first elder to beat Lu Chaoge up, and questioning how he can possibly endure such an arrogant brat acting so insolently in their region. First elder stammers again in overwhelming fury, while the second elder smirks to himself, convinced that his manipulation is complete. However, First Elder suddenly composes himself and concedes with a simple fine. The Second Elder internally questions how he can still hold back after being stepped on like this, wondering if he is actually a coward. Instead of attacking, First Elder praises Sect Leader Lu for possessing such remarkable skill at such a young age. Lu Chaoge responds that the First Elder of the Shuiyu sect humbles him. Watching everything unfold, Luo Bing reflects that this is true sword cultivation. To her, Lu Chaoge is truly a cool and unrestrained cultivator, the young lord she looks up to, as she applies a level 1000 high-quality beautifying filter to him in her mind. However, Luo Bing hesitates as she looks at Meng Feng. She recalls that he is the senior brother she had requested help from and wonders whether the young lord intends to stand up for them as well. Meanwhile, the Second Elder realizes that he has completely underestimated the cowardly First Elder, but he refuses to let such a God-sent opportunity slip away. Determined to make the Elder's anger burn even brighter, he loudly laments that after suffering such severe injuries, he is afraid Meng Feng has completely become a disabled person. He continues by remarking that First Elder's hard work over the past 10 years has been destroyed in the blink of an eye, and when he notices his provocation starting to work, he presses even harder. There is blood in Meng Feng's mouth, his teeth are broken, and from now on, it seems he will only be able to eat porridge. The Second Elder further laments that such a pitiful child has been ruined to this state, yet no one is even willing to stand up for him. He then chuckles quietly, as First Elder finally erupts in fury. At that moment, Lu Chaoge questions the two elders about whether Meng Feng had the right to resist under the Sword Sect's rules. Since the Second Elder keeps trying to fan the flames, and he has no intention of being used as a tool, he decides to drag both of them down as well. The elders are immediately left speechless. If they admit that Meng Feng had the right to resist, then according to the Sword Sect's rules, he also had the right to take Meng Feng's life directly. Lu Chaoge follows up by questioning whether Meng Feng would have returned safe and sound if he had tried to endure a direct hit from him instead. The Second Elder nervously wonders what the brat is trying to accomplish, while First Elder recognizes that compared with enduring 6 whip strikes, taking Lu Chaoge's sword slash was indeed the correct choice. Lu Chaoge then declares that his punishment was never too harsh. The real problem lies with the people of the Shuiyu sect. They are simply far too weak, completely weak, absurdly weak. And in the end, Lu Chaoge proclaims that being weak is their original sin. The elders are completely overwhelmed by Lu Chaoge's insulting words, furious that this brat is disrespecting their entire Shuiyu sect. The First Elder protests that, considering sect leader Lu's position against the entire Shuiyu sect, using his full authority against a mere disciple of their sect is going too far. Lu Chaoge counters by questioning whether Shuiyu sect's First Elder has forgotten that he is still the leader of a sect, placing his position half a rank above both elders. According to the rules, they should be bowing while standing before him. The elders can only stammer in shock and hesitation, while Lu Chaoge reminds them that neither of them is the sect leader yet. That leaves both elders fumbling for words in fury and frustration. Watching the confrontation from her flying sword, Li Nanwei claps in amusement and praises the situation for being interesting, declaring that he truly is very interesting. The elders immediately panic upon seeing her, wondering why she is here, and lamenting that they are doomed this time. While Lu Chaoge also wonders what brought her here. Li Nanwei leaps down toward the ground, her balloons bouncing as she drops upside down. The newcomer is Li Nanwei, direct disciple of the Sword Sect and daughter of the Sword Sovereign. Lu Chaoge recognizes her as the Sword Sovereign's daughter, whose position is even higher than Yu Yue's, and notes that her status as the Sword Sect leader's daughter is practically no lower than the Sword Sect itself. After Li Nanwei sheathes the massive sword on her back, Lu Chaoge recalls that aside from all her titles, she and Yu Yue are established as a couple in the game. That makes him wonder whether Yu Yue already has a crush on her at this point. Meanwhile, Luo Bing notices Lu Chaoge staring intently at Li Nanwei and concludes that the young lord likes that type of woman. She remembers the older sisters at the brothel earning well because men loved those balloons, along with beds shaking deep into the night. With that in mind, Luo Bing resolves to practice the madam's methods once they return to the sect. Remembering how the madam explained that those tricks worked very well on men, she also recalls the advice that the balloons should be massaged every night for better results. However, Luo Bing lets out a troubled sigh, because the madam also mentioned that the effects are even better when someone else massages them for her. Lu Chaoge then decides to scan Li Nanwei's cultivation level and check just how high it is, but the system fails to reveal any numerical stats. Instead, the system warns that the target is a powerful creature and urges him to remain cautious. From that result, Lu Chaoge deduces that anyone unreadable by the system must be at least 20 levels above him, which places her at level 40 or higher. Li Nanwei greets sect leader Lu as a direct disciple of the Sword Sect, while Lu Chaoge responds that he has already heard about her from Yu Yui. Internally, Lu Chaoge remarks that little Yu Yui better not claim he never helped him out. The elders nearly panic again, unable to comprehend how the leader of a sect ranked among the bottom 100 can so casually accept a greeting from the Sword Sovereign's daughter. Li Nanwei, however, finds his reaction intriguing. Everyone else always treats her with the highest level of respect and courtesy, yet he simply accepts her greeting without making a big deal out of it. She then recalls junior brother Yu Yue, mentioning a mysterious senior brother who came out of the mountains, and begins wondering whether Lu Chaoge is that person. Curious now, Li Nanwei decides to test him a little. Li Nanwei wonders if sect leader Lu knows junior brother Yu Yue as well, then grows curious about what Yu Yue has mentioned about her, and whether Lu Chaoge can share a little. With a smile, Lu Chaoge replies that it was all praise, while privately considering this the most he can do to help little Yu Yue. Meanwhile, the elders can only worry that they have somehow managed to offend both of them at the same time. Since Lu Chaoge still has matters to handle within his sect, he announces that he will take his leave first, and Li Nanwei politely allows sect leader Lu to go ahead. Lu Chaoge and Luo Bing begin walking toward the exit, but he suddenly stops. Everyone looks at him in confusion. Lu Chaoge declares that a master should shoulder the disciples' threefold spiritual stone debt. Without another word, the first elder throws over the pouch, insisting that not a single stone is missing. Lu Chaoge catches it smoothly, then instructs Luo Bing to keep it safe before announcing that they are leaving. Luo Bing respectfully agrees. Li Nanwei watches him depart, resolving to determine whether he truly is the mysterious senior brother. The first elder then approaches her, lamenting that their sect produced such a sinful disciple and made a fool of themselves, only to trail off nervously. Li Nanwei casts a sharp, cold glance toward Meng Feng before sneering that the disciple had better stop training with a sword. The elders immediately stammer in shock, realizing with horror that her words represent the stance of the Sword Sect. As they gasp in dismay, Li Nanwei turns away and announces that she also has plenty to handle lately, so she will take her leave. She leaps into the air onto her flying sword, leaving the elders to watch her disappear in utter despair. The second elder furiously scolds him over the disciple he taught, while the first elder can only sigh in defeat. Meanwhile, Luo Bing informs Lu Chaoge that the woman from the Sword Sect is chasing after them, though her attention remains fixed on Li Nanwei's chest. Privately, she considers that chest practically illegal and wonders whether she blew air into them. Lu Chaoge frowns, wondering why she is following them. Li Nanwei calls out that she has something to discuss with sect leader Lu. Lu Chaoge activates his wind spiritual skill and calmly prompts her to continue. She wonders whether sect leader Lu and junior brother Yu Yue met during childhood. Recalling their childhood encounter, Lu Chaoge replies that she could put it that way. Li Nanwei immediately concludes that the mysterious senior brother Yu Yue mentioned must indeed be him. Lu Chaoge questions what she means by mysterious senior brother, while inwardly growing furious over whatever that brat has been doing behind his back. Surprised that sect leader Lu has no idea, Li Nanwei explains that Yu Yue frequently brings him up within the Sword Sect, but always refuses to mention his name, even remaining silent when her father pressed him about it. That revelation leaves Lu Chaoge fuming in frustration. He finally knows why his reputation points never increased, and he wants nothing more than to smack Yu Yue's head for wasting potential reputation points from the Sword Sovereign. Lu Chaoge then wonders how her father reacted after hearing about him. Li Nanwei hesitates, slipping into a dazed, nostalgic trance before revealing that her father was really jealous. Lu Chaoge is confused by the Sword Sovereign's claim that he is jealous. But after a moment of quiet contemplation, he finally understands what those words mean. Li Nanwei then wonders whether he has figured out why her father would make such a statement. Lu Chaoge questions Lady Nanwei about the loneliest thing in the world, and when she wonders what it could be, he declares that spending one's entire life seeking defeat while remaining unrivaled under the heavens is the greatest loneliness of all. Li Nanwei is completely stunned by his words. Luo Bing quickly understands the meaning. The Sword Sovereign is jealous because Yu Yue has an extraordinary rival like her young master, someone capable of surpassing even a once-in-a-thousand-year genius, so she congratulates the sect leader for receiving such a fortunate encounter. Li Nanwei is impressed that Luo Bing grasps the meaning so quickly, noting that the Mo sect truly cannot be underestimated. Meanwhile, Lu Chaoge twitches in frustration, deciding that he will beat Yu Yu up the next time they meet while cursing the reputation points he could have gained from the Sword Sovereign. He then checks whether Lady Nanwei has anything else she wants to know. Otherwise, they will head ahead first, since he intends to settle this debt another time and return to collect his mission reward. Li Nanwei freezes in disbelief. With her prestige and her father's fame, this is the first time she has ever heard someone casually announce that they are leaving first. Instead of letting him go, she requests permission to remain at the Mo sect for a few days. In her mind, sect leader Lu is completely different from everyone else, never flattering her despite her status, and on top of that, he is very handsome. Lu Chaoge, however, sees no value or missions attached to this brat and has no intention of letting her stay for free. So he begins searching for an excuse to refuse. Then, something on her suddenly catches his attention. The moment he recognizes the item, a sly smile appears. Lu Chaoge immediately changes his decision and agrees to offer his hospitality, considering that she is the Sword Sovereign's daughter and Yu Yue's senior sister. Luo Bing becomes suspicious about why the young lord suddenly accepts an outsider. As Li Nanwei cheerfully approaches him, Luo Bing stares at her chest. Li Nanwei laughs at his sudden hospitality, while Luo Bing remains speechless. With growing dismay, Luo Bing concludes that the young lord prefers women with larger chests and decides that her massaging plan will begin tonight. Later, they arrive at Danking Mountain. Lu Chaoge points out the guest room and leaves Lady Nanwei to make herself at home, while she expresses her thanks. He then instructs Luo Bing to properly settle the mother and son without allowing them to suffer any hardship, and she accepts the order. With everything arranged, Lu Chaoge finally turns his attention back to what matters most. It is time to receive his rewards, and he eagerly wonders what good things he will obtain this time. At that moment, the system instructs him to accept his mission rewards. Later, Lu Chaoge tells the system that he wants to receive his mission rewards, and the system immediately begins releasing them, as the dramatic special effects appear again. Lu Chaoge remarks that he used to find them crass, yet seeing them now somehow feels strange. His experience points increase by 20,000, but Lu Chaoge remains calm and moves straight on to the next reward. The system announces that the mission assessment is about to begin, prompting Lu Chaoge to complain about whether all these special effects somehow cost nothing. As the assessment officially starts, 3 glowing slots appear with question marks inside them, leaving Lu Chaoge murmuring in confusion. The wheels rapidly begin spinning, and he complains that systems this dramatic always waste time instead of simply giving him the final score. The number 2 appears first, making Lu Chaoge react in confusion. Then an 8 lands beside it, and he figures that the score is at least acceptable. However, when a 0 appears in front of the 8, turning the final result into 82, Lu Chaoge can only stare in speechless disbelief. With 18 points still missing, Lu Chaoge questions how he is supposed to obtain them, before concluding that if he wants a higher score, he will apparently have to beat up the elders along with the younger cultivators. Thinking back, he regrets letting those 2 elders go. He then checks his reputation points and notices that they are already high enough to surpass an 8th-ranked sect. With that settled, Lu Chaoge taps the interface and reviews the requirements for upgrading the sect. Recruiting more disciples will be difficult, but gathering second-rank members should be much easier. At the same time, he notes that he has accumulated enough personal experience points recently, so he decides to level up twice at once and directly reach the 2nd rank. Lu Chaoge sits down and begins absorbing the experience he has gained, while power spreads around him as his cultivation advances. Lu Dongli immediately notices that her brother has broken through again, and this time he has advanced 2 levels at once. Li Nanwei also notices the disturbance and reacts in surprise, questioning whether he has already reached 1st rank great completion. Advancing 2 levels at once is not particularly strange to her, but what truly bothers her is whether he was really only at the first rank back at Sword Sect. If that is true, then she cannot understand how he managed to manifest sword intent at such a low cultivation level. She recalls her father explaining that cultivators should not even bother attempting to form sword intent before reaching the third rank, and even the peerless genius Yue only succeeded after reaching the third rank. The more Li Nanwei considers it, the more tempted she becomes to rush over and capture him for a deeper investigation. However, she quickly reminds herself to calm down, questioning how the daughter of the Sword Sovereign could act so shamelessly. Still, Li Nanwei breathes heavily in agitation while repeatedly muttering to herself, clutching her robes as she struggles to restrain the urge. After all, he genuinely formed sword intent while still at the first rank, and as someone completely obsessed with swordsmanship, she desperately wants to experience it for herself. In the end, Li Nanwei convinces herself to endure until morning since he needs time to digest his breakthrough. She plans to capture him, only to immediately correct herself and settle on simply asking him instead. And this level of obsession is nothing new for her. In the past, Yue is left tightly bound while sobbing in terror as Li Nanwei sinisterly declares that she wants to thoroughly investigate his rare sword body. Yue screams in agony and begs his senior brother to save him, eventually spending the entire night unconscious while still mumbling for his senior brother. Meanwhile, Chaoge does not need to digest anything at all. Instead, he grins mischievously and stretches his limbs on the floor while rhythmically counting through his exercises. At that moment, the system announces the arrival of another leveling up mission. Chaoge chuckles, pleased that another mission has appeared right when he needs one. Since the previous orange mission gave him such a great reward, he figures choosing the same difficulty again should bring something equally worthwhile. Without hesitation, Chaoge selects the orange difficulty once more. The system confirms that he has successfully accepted the orange level difficulty mission, and after seeing its contents, Chaoge remarks on what an incredible coincidence this is. To him, it is practically the same as pushing yourself straight into hell even when there is no door. The system reveals that the leveling up mission is to kill the demonic cultivator from the mysterious organization, prompting Chaoge to remark that the coming year probably won't be peaceful. A 48-hour countdown immediately appears, but Chaoge declares that the hunt begins now, noting that the target should enjoy the few hours they have left, because those will be the final moments of their life. By the next morning, Chaoge is quietly cultivating as spiritual energy swirls around him. Cultivating every day is already part of his routine, and small matters aren't enough to interrupt it, which means hunting and killing a demonic cultivator is nothing more than a minor issue to him. When Chaoge opens his eyes, he notes that morning has arrived. Li Nanwei comments that sect leader Lu's cultivation method is quite interesting, while Chaoge simply stares back at her in silence as she lets out a cheerful laugh. He then questions whether Lady Nanwei knows how rude it is to interrupt someone while they are quietly cultivating. Internally, Chaoge considers that he can't let women off too easily, or she might end up climbing over his head. Li Nanwei respectfully bows and admits that Nanwei understands her mistake. Chaoge reflects that although this girl may be obsessed with swords, he is still a man with a charm of 10, so keeping some distance from her would be better. After all, an older brother shouldn't interact too much with his younger disciples, or rumors might start spreading. With that settled, Chaoge informs Lady Nanwei that he has something to handle outside the mountains, so she can move freely around the Mo sect without being reserved. Before he can leave, Li Nanwei calls for sect leader Lu to wait, because she has something she wants to know. Chaoge allows her to continue, and Li Nanwei explains that her father once claimed nobody could form sword intent before reaching the third rank, so she wants to know why sect leader Lu is capable of doing it. Chaoge quietly glances back over his shoulder and states that this simply means the Sword Sovereign was wrong. He turns away immediately, leaving Li Nanwei stunned as she repeats in disbelief that the Sword Sovereign was wrong. In her mind, the Sword Sovereign is the leader of swordsmanship and the brightest light in all of Qingzhou's swordsmanship, so anyone hearing those words from Chaoge would probably conclude that he had lost his mind. Still confused, Li Nanwei clenches her fist and recalls something the Sword Sovereign once explained to her. Although he may be the leader of swordsmanship in this generation, that doesn't mean he is the one who defines swordsmanship itself. Because of that, Li Nanwei becomes certain that the Sword Sovereign would probably like Lu Chaoge too, if he ever met him. Meanwhile, Lu Chaoge soars through the open sky while wondering what reward awaits him after completing this orange-level mission. Just imagining it is enough to make his blood boil with excitement. Lu Chaoge then calls out for his cute monster to clean its neck and prepare to die. Among demonic cultivators of the same rank, those accompanied by other beasts, carrying powerful bloodlines, and capable of becoming stronger by consuming others are definitely opponents that normally can't be fought alone. But Lu Chaoge is different. After all, he is basically a walking cheat. Meanwhile, in Jinnu village, a mother warns the child not to run so fast or she will trip, while the girl only giggles playfully. Beside the village runs a small river with remarkably clear water. But from beneath its surface, a demonic woman suddenly emerges. Turning her attention toward the distant settlement, she laughs sinisterly after finding another target and observes that it is a human village. She wonders whether her beasts are already starving, then orders them to devour the people, their fresh blood and flesh already making her drool from the smell alone. At once, the river water surges violently. The villagers panic at the sight, screaming that a monster has appeared and urgently warning everyone to run. A colossal beast soon looms over the girl, casting a terrifying shadow across her as she gasps in confusion and fear. Her mother desperately rushes forward, begging it not to hurt her child, but before the beast can strike, a wave of water suddenly intercepts it and forcefully knocks both giant beasts backward. The mother stares in disbelief at what just happened, while the girl remains equally bewildered. Standing between them and the monsters is Lu Chaoge, firmly shielding the mother and child as he coldly commands the beasts to back off. The mother wonders if he is a cultivator, repeatedly thanking him before running away with the girl. As the beasts turn their attention toward him, Lu Chaoge assesses his opponents and remarks that facing a level 21 beast and a level 20 beast is not bad. The beasts immediately attack, but the demonic woman warns them not to be so rash, wanting to see who is brave enough to interfere with their meal. Lu Chaoge remains surrounded by glistening droplets of water, and the moment the demonic woman gets a proper look at him, she freezes in stunned silence. Her reaction quickly changes as she swoons over how handsome he is, then clears her throat and remarks that he also looks extremely tasty. Lu Chaoge wonders whether she wants to eat him, or exactly what kind of eating she has in mind. The demonic woman menacingly declares that she intends to tear him apart and eat him with dipping sauce before unleashing an overwhelming burst of demonic energy straight toward him. Lu Chaoge remarks that this is not the kind of approach to eating he was looking forward to, and a fierce explosion erupts across the area as he blocks the attack. He adds that he expected her to choose a tamer and nicer way instead. Now furious, the demonic woman shrieks that fighting her is the same as courting death, then releases a cloud of poisonous mist. Lu Chaoge activates his water ability, leaving the demonic woman stunned as she questions whether this is the power of heaven and earth. He casually bids her farewell, but the giant snake immediately lunges in to strike him down. Lu Chaoge leaps back and avoids the attack, only for the giant spider to descend and ambush him next. The girl cries out for Big Brother to be careful, but Lu Chaoge reassures her that Big Brother is really strong before sending out a sword slash that forces the giant spider to retreat. Her mother quickly corrects her that the man is an uncle, but the girl refuses to accept it. Since he is so good-looking, she insists he has to be a big brother. Lu Chaoge lands back on the ground and mutters that his level is still too low. Using only a few random skills has already drained 1/5 of his mana bar, so he needs to finish this quickly. The demonic woman wipes her mouth and remarks that a mere beginner rank actually dares to challenge her, meaning she has no choice but to properly repay his courage. Furious, she orders her beasts to rip him to shreds, and both giant monsters charge toward him at full speed. However, Lu Chaoge notes that having them attack together is exactly what he wants. He mocks them for being too slow and urges them to hurry before releasing the mist. Believing he is trying to hide, the demonic woman pushes her beasts forward, but Lu Chaoge counters that hiding would make it impossible to fight them head-on, and a real man cannot always back down. He immediately activates water pressure, increasing the pressure of the water vapor and forcing it downward onto the enemies. The crushing force slams both giant beasts down, and Lu Chaoge follows with Splash Inc. A single slash cleaves both giant monsters cleanly in half. With the beasts gone, Lu Chaoge notes that only she remains and questions how she plans to eat him now. The demonic woman shrieks that she intends to rip him apart, keep him conscious, and make him watch while she eats his flesh piece by piece. Lu Chaoge remarks that this is quite cruel, adding that it reminds him of foreigner friends who eat bullfrogs the same way. Spotting an opening, the demonic woman screams for him to die as poisonous pink mist completely envelops his body. But Lu Chaoge questions whether she has already forgotten that his power of heaven and earth is water, then wonders what is wrong with her brain for still using a poisonous mist made from water against him. The demonic woman panics as she is sucked up, while Lu Chaoge commands the poison mist to return to her. The mist immediately descends, engulfing her as she shrieks in agony, and her body visibly decays before his eyes. Seeing that she is somehow still alive, Lu Chaoge wonders how she has not died yet while she pants heavily. Desperate to survive, the demonic woman begs him to spare her, offering to do anything he wants, and tempting him with her body. Lu Chaoge admits that he used to be addicted to those brief moments of pleasure, and her body is indeed tempting and sinful. However, women now only influence the speed at which he draws his sword, and more importantly, the dead souls of those she has eaten want her to die even sooner. With that, the demonic woman's head falls, but the giant spider on the ground still stirs weakly as its final trace of ferocity awakens. Unaware of the danger, the girl rushes over and claps joyfully, celebrating Big Brother's victory and praising how amazing he is. At that moment, the giant spider's eyes glint viciously before it launches a surprise attack. The girl cries out in fear as blood suddenly splatters in front of her. She stammers toward Big Brother, only to find him shielding her from the attack. The beast lunges forward with a furious roar, but Lu Chaoge answers with a swift slash, instantly severing the giant monster in half. Afterward, Lu Chaoge pulls the spike from his shoulder and clicks his tongue, remarking that he still managed to get injured. The girl immediately breaks down, sobbing that Big Brother was hurt because he saved her and blaming herself for what happened. However, Lu Chaoge gently directs her attention forward, and the girl looks on in confusion as droplets of water begin forming and floating before her. Her eyes sparkle with amazement at the beautiful sight, and she softly calls out to Big Brother as he soars away into the sky. Behind him, the villagers kneel on the ground and repeatedly thank the cultivator for saving them. Unable to repay such a great favor, they desperately request that he at least leave behind his name. Lu Chaoge's voice echoes across the land, declaring that this venerable is Lu Chaoge of the Sword Sect. Later, Lu Chaoge remarks that the design is not bad, but the material is unusable. Since the beast clothes are only low yellow-grade quality, he plans to sell them once he gets the chance. Imagining Lu Dongli and Luo Bing wearing them, Lu Chaoge notes that even a slightly bigger movement could easily cause accidental exposure, making the design truly immoral. Looking down from above, he notices the villagers are still thanking him, and Lu Chaoge quietly notes that this is Qingzhou. Cultivators cannot become immortals and are only slightly stronger than ordinary people. Yet the common people still unconditionally believe that sword cultivators will protect them. To him, if a sword is not used to protect the weak, then there is little point in wielding one at all. Lu Chaoge then raises the jade bracelet, deciding to inspect the contents of the female demon cultivator's storage device. After activating it, he curiously reaches into the glowing bracelet, only to pull out a few spiritual stones and wonder if she is somehow even poorer than him. Reaching inside again, he feels something much larger, but when Lu Chaoge pulls it out, he is left staring speechlessly at a human skull. He burns the skull with spiritual flames, wishing it peace now that he has already exacted revenge on its behalf. Holding the 2 purple moon badges, Lu Chaoge notes that she was an official member of the organization, making the kill worthwhile. Still, he grumbles about how poor she was, especially since her best item had already been worn on her body, leaving him to hope the system provides a better surprise. Lu Chaoge submits his mission results, and the system announces that the reward will be determined through a roulette, wishing him great fortune. It explains that the orange-level mission rewards are divided into 4 ranks, from the best rank A to the worst rank D, before prompting him to begin. Seeing how tiny the rank A section is, Lu Chaoge points at it angrily and demands to know whether that is really fair. The system immediately confirms that it is very much so, prompting him to angrily wonder where it learned such behavior. Still, Lu Chaoge declares that obtaining rank A will be effortless with his luck, preparing to prove that he is the luckiest player as he activates the roulette. The wheel whirls at high speed while Lu Chaoge gulps nervously, watching closely as it gradually begins to slow. As the pointer approaches the boundary, he repeatedly chants for rank A, only to grab his head in frustration when the wheel rolls straight past it. However, Lu Chaoge quickly notices that the roulette has not completely stopped and is still inching forward. He gasps in disbelief, wondering whether that actually worked or whether the system is simply messing with him. And the pointer finally settles on rank A. The system playfully warns him not to overthink it. A light drops toward him, and Lu Chaoge catches it while warning the system not to think it can escape the issue simply by throwing him a reward. But the moment he examines what landed in his hands, he stares at the talisman in confusion. The system reveals that it is a special-grade copying voucher, a single-use item capable of copying anything he touches. Lu Chaoge immediately recognizes it as a cheat-level treasure, since it effectively allows him to copy any cheat item in the world for himself. More importantly, the world's main character's cheat item is already located at his home. Since all 4 main characters, including Yu Yue, possess an ancient item from Tianyi Dao, Lu Chaoge reasons that he, as the chosen one, must have one as well. And he senses that there is a huge secret behind these items. With that in mind, he decides to ask her later to let him touch the item. Flying through the clouds, Lu Chaoge casually notes that having 5 members among the 4 heavenly kings is common knowledge.